Before you read the notes we've uploaded about diphthongs, let me tell you what a diphthong is. A diphthong is a sequence of two vocalic elements that form a glide within the same syllable. It's a sequence of two vocalic elements, so there are two vowel sounds that form a sequence within the same syllable. Let's have a look at this one, for example, A. So we can see here that there is a movement of the tongue from the point of articulation, from this general point of articulation of the dress towards the kid. A. That movement of the tongue is called a glide, deslizamiento in Spanish. So A, the tongue glides from the position of the dress, towards the position of the kid. A. I. So the tongue glides from the general region of A towards the kid. And oi. The tongue glides from the general region of O towards the kid. So we can see that it is a sequence of two vocalic elements. And let's pay attention to the prominence of the elements. A, I, oi. The first element in a diphthong, in English, is more prominent than the second one. The second one is slightly sounded. Why? Because from the articulatory point of view, the tongue, in this case, for example, A, the tongue moves from the position of the dress towards the position of the kit. A. So the kit is slightly sounded. The second element is slightly sounded. That's why we say A, I, oi, o, ow, ear. Air and or. Air is not there for a reason, and I'll come back to this in a minute. Now, in order to describe diphthongs, we have to analyze the articulatory features of diphthongs and the auditory features of diphthongs. What can we say about diphthongs from the articulatory point of view? Well, they can be classified according to the direction of the glide. What do we mean by that? How does the tongue move? In what direction? Does the tongue go up to a closing vowel, or does the tongue go down to a mid vowel, as in the mid position? All right, so we classify diphthongs into closing, because the tongue goes from a more open vowel to a closer vowel. A, I, oi, o, ow. The tongue goes up all the time. While in ear, air, or the tongue is going down to the schwa, towards the schwa, which is in the mid position. So we have closing diphthongs on the one hand and centering diphthongs on the other hand. Then we can describe and classify the closing diphthongs into fronting diphthongs and backing diphthongs. Fronting diphthongs are those where the tongue goes to a front vowel. A, I, oi. We've studied that the kit is a front vowel, right? So they are fronting diphthongs. And backing diphthongs, o, ow, are those in which the second element is a back vowel and the foot is a back vowel. Also, we can classify diphthongs according to the length of the glide. We have to pay attention to the distance the tongue travels from the first vocalic element to the second element. Is that distance long or short. So, if we analyze the glide in A, we can see that the distance the tongue travels from the position of the dress towards the kid is very short. So we say that this is a narrow diphthong. While in I, price, the distance the tongue travels from the general region of R towards a kid is very long, so it's a wide diphthong. So according to the length of the glide, we classify diphthongs into wide and narrow, which would be the narrow diphthongs A, O, ear, or, and the wide diphthongs I, oi, ow. Okay, and we said that we describe diphthongs from the articulatory point of view, which we just did, and auditory point of view. When we classify or describe diphthongs from the auditory point of view, we have to pay attention to the prominence of the vocalic elements. Of the two vocalic elements, which one do you think is the most prominent one? Listen to me, please. A, I, oi, ear, or, o, ow. The first one. The first element is more prominent than the second one. The second one is slightly sounded. The tongue moves towards the second element, but doesn't reach the position of the second element. And this is the major difference between English diphthongs and Spanish diphthongs. For example, in English we say, I'm a teacher, I. While in Spanish we say, hay un profesor allí, I. English, I. Spanish, I. You see, the second element in Spanish we say is fully reached. The tongue reaches the position of the second element. So we have to be very careful when we produce English diphthongs. We have to remember that the first element is more prominent than the second one. And I made reference to air. The diphthong is missing there. Why is it missing? Because nowadays people are not, young people are not pronouncing that diphthong really, air. They're not saying square. The tendency is to make it a monophthong. Instead of air, they say air, which is a long dress. It's like the dress, air, but longer. Air. Square. All right, this is just for you to know. If you want to say square, it's okay, but you should be aware of these changes. And now you can read the notes we've uploaded to the platform. See you next class.